Good afternoon, good evening, good afternoon, everybody. Hello, hello. How are you? Thank you so much for joining us this afternoon sa ating Karista Live today. And joining me, of course, ang inyong favorite mortgage strategy managers, Rachelle. Hi, Rachelle. You want to say hi to everyone?
Hello, everyone. How's everyone doing?
Yes. And of course, Erika Dimacali, our mortgage strategy manager here also at Karista Mortgage. You want to say hi to the audience, Erika?
Hello, magandang tanghali po.
Ayan, magandang tanghali po mga kumakain dyan. So, I'm so glad that you guys are joining us during your lunch break here. And today we have two special guests for you. We are going to be exploring, understanding, learning about what's happening in the real estate market in two different areas. And before I don't want to steal much of their thunder. And with our first guest here, we prepared a very special introduction. But before we bring her on board, if you have any questions para po sa ating speaker and of course para sa amin here at Karista Mortgage, please make sure you just type them all in the chat box here. And of course, if you want to say hi to us, that's the best place to go to. So, okay, let's bring in our first speaker. Let's watch this introduction, please. Started working in a real estate office in 2003 and obtained her real estate license in 2010. She is a member of the Canadian Real Estate Association, British Columbia Real Estate Association, and Victoria Real Estate Board. Faith knows that home buying can be a stressful experience, especially for first-time buyers. That is why she's very involved with her clients. She likes to educate them on the home buying process and empower them by providing the correct information in their hands. Faith takes her time to become adequately acquainted with her clients. She treats all her clients with care. Please welcome Faith Rubino. Hi, Faith!
Hello po! Kumusta po kayo?
Mabuti. Kumusta, Faith?
Mabuti. And hello sa lahat ng mga viewers. Hi, Rachel. Hi, Erika. And thank you so much, Bernadette, for inviting me.
Well, I'm so glad that you're here. We've been working closely together, and thank you for helping all of our clients in this home buying journey. And I know you prepared this wonderful presentation for our viewers here, but one of the things I wanted you to share is, why do you like working with first-time homebuyers, Faith?
Oh, I love that question. So this is usually what I give people as an answer. And I stole this analogy from my daughter. Kasi when she was in grade 12, I asked her what she wanted to be. Sabi niya, a teacher. And I asked, anong grade? And she said, kindergarten. And I said, why? Because during her grade 12, she did a TA, teacher assistant sa school niya. And then she watched the kids, like yung progress nila from the very beginning of the year till the end of the year. And one thing she told me is this, like she watched the kids struggle holding their pencil, and then at the end of the year they could write their name. And I said, oh, you know what, that is like, I love that. That's what I love about the real estate. It's pretty much the same thing as like the first time home buyer, because at first they don't know what to do. I'm there to guide them from start to finish. At the end of the transaction, they have a place and they can show me,
Yeah.
oh, look, it's kind of like that. They're like the first house or condo or townhouse, whatever it is. So yeah.
Yes, because a lot of people don't like working with first-time home buyers because of the huge education that you provide, and for you, you enjoy to like educating and everything. That's why this is the perfect opportunity for you to join us, because there's a lot of things that people would like to know about what's happening in the market, and you're so passionate to share all that information with them. I'm very curious. I'm sure Erica, Rachelle, and the rest of the viewers are curious. So can you please share with us what's happening in the market in your area today?
Yeah, for sure. So give me a second. Okay, there you go. So this is the statistic that every month the board, the Victoria Real Estate Board, like sent to all realtors, and I just want to share this to everyone out there. Now we all know for the last couple years, the real estate market is very very strange. So the real estate as well, but right now, as you could see, it's starting to little bit. That's what the current president, Victoria Real Estate Board is saying right now. While the inventory is still below historically levels for the spring market, is now within our pre-pandemic 5-year average. So which is really good news sa mga buyers. So what I mean by that is this. I'm gonna show you the next slideshow here. So this is the recent statistic for June 17, okay? Like just recently lang for the month of June for the last 17 days. So as you can see now, we currently have like for this week we have like 281 listings. And as you can see, the active listing compare now is 1,876 compared to last year na 1,300 lang. So as you can see, the
Yay!
inventory is starting to grow. So yay! So I mean, the other number is kind of low, right? It's not yet the end of the month, diba? But I just want to show like the bottom in here is like the active listing. So it's starting to sort of, it's not yet the balanced market, but it's starting to be, more options sa mga buyers. And then this one here is the statistic for month of May. I know it's really like magulo siya tingnan, pero I just want to show you na last month May, ang total active listing is 1,776 compared to the April of last month, which is 1,300. So as you can see, there's more listing now. And then compared to last year May, with only 1,400. So as you can see, it's starting to show more inventory, so it's more confident to put their property on the market. And then in here, like the currently, I just put little bit of the median price in here. Like it's so sort of magulo tingnan. Pero as yung prices ng median price for this month of May for a single family, it's about 1.4, and then last month is pretty much very similar, 1.4, but compared to last year is 1.1. So as you can see, there's a huge difference. And then if you look at the condo, it's the same thing then. Now there's for the month of May, there's about 633, and then last April it's 630. So that's difference. But then compared to last year May, it's 494. So that's 27% up just like that. So the market is really crazy, right? And then the townhouse is pretty much same thing. So as you can see na mga changes, right? Um and lastly, I just want to show in here ang total um residential sale ng last itong May na to is like the total 761. Nung April, there are more listing na nag-sold, which is 824. And then the year before, as like May, there's 1,000 listings. So as you can see, we're not there yet.
Right.
And then I want to show you this statistic, the graph from like May 2022 to pretty much now 2022. As you can see, ang active listing, madami siyang active listing is almost like 2,600 listing, and then nag-lower down. As you can see, yung inventory starting to go down, especially nung December 2021, and now
Yeah.
starting to go up. We're not there yet. We are getting, hopefully we'll get more listings. So I don't know if you can
Wow.
see that graph. It's amazing, diba? Like
I can see that graph. Do you know why there's more listing now?
uh,
Did they say?
it's just because there's more people who are more confident like in the market, and also like
Ah,
the interest
okay.
rate, diba? So it's just it's
Okay.
those two things what's happening right now. Um
Beautiful.
yeah,
Beautiful. This
so
is awesome. Awesome. Awesome information. Yay!
and then this one here is just want to show you yung solid line dito are the listings, okay? And yung mga dot are the sales. So as you could see, nung May 2020, there's about yung listing niya over 1,000, diba? Ang nabibenta lang, it's only like about little bit over 40 listings something. So as you could see, it's going up, diba?
Yes.
And then nung December 2020, less yung inventory, but there's more sale. So if I look at this statistic and then the previous statistic, is pretty much the same thing, except it's just showing you yung mga listings and what sell and what didn't sell. Can you
Mm-hmm.
see
Mm-hmm.
that?
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah.
Wow.
So as you could see, some people, and this is also a good stat to people like, hey, when is the best time to go sell the property? Some people will go look at November. Kasi if you look at November, or that's the time na yung if you put your listing on your property in the market, it will sell. So it's gonna be less inventory. So parang one-on-one ang dating, kind of thing like that. So if you look at
Mm-hmm.
that, see November on February, parang there's more. So it's not gonna stay on the market as long.
Right.
So
Right. That makes sense.
yeah, and then again, it's the comfort zone, din, diba? And then the next ratio in here, this is a really good stat. Then is we saw this earlier, but I just want to show na if you look at the bottom of this slideshow, it says in here kapag ang percentage ng sale 10%, it's pretty much is gonna be buyer's market. But as you can see right now, it's not below 10%. And
Mm-hmm.
if it's gonna be above 20, it's gonna be a seller's market. And we already seen that right now, diba? I said if it's gonna be 15 and 20%, it's gonna be balanced market. As you could see on this graph, it's we're starting to have a balanced market, but we're not there yet. We're not there yet.
Mm-hmm.
As you can see.
Right.
So hopefully people could understand that it helps a little bit, but as you could see, there's hope. So it's
Yeah.
not gonna go up and up, but there's hope. It's gonna be balanced, hopefully soon. Um, and then this one here, I love this graph. This graph is gonna show you like mga single detached property in all areas. This is just like approximate, pretty much the benchmark of the properties worth. So as you can see, once upon a time in May 2020, ang benchmark price ng detached is close less than 900,000. So mga
Wow.
850, 875. So it's starting to go up, but it dipped down a little bit, right? And then it just
Mhm.
keeps going up, but it goes down a little bit, but it goes up.
Mhm.
But now it's starting to go down again. So the
Mhm.
highest we have been is almost to 1.4 pretty much here in the island. And except the one in the news recently that you heard that's different. Let's not talk about that one.
No.
That's um so as you can see, the market is starting to have that flat na sinasabi nila na it's going to get in there hopefully balanced soon. So I describe this to my clients na para siyang kwan ba, para siyang if you go to how do you call this, kung nasa traffic ikaw a little bit slowly, it's not gonna be crazy insane, but you're still moving a little bit. So and
Beautiful.
yeah, and the next one is the condo. As you could see, there's more price difference you could see. Usually condo is lag behind with everything, but this time is because of the lack of inventory. The condo really went up. As you could see from August 2021 all the way to January 2022. Talagang tumaas siya, oh, but now it's starting to a little bit. But then again, it's just showing you, the market is heading sort of like a balanced market. We will couple months, but as you can see, trending na siya. And lastly, here it's the townhomes. Townhomes is really funny because as you can see, up and down siya. Kasi a
I
lot of
know, that's crazy. It's
it's very
interesting, eh?
bizarre. um, the reason is this because a lot of people what wants to get into pero hindi sila get into single detached. So they to the townhome. So there's a lot of very competitive during this time. Kaya madami siyang up and down. So it looks really skew.
Mm.
So
Okay.
that's pretty much it. So as you can see, yung townhouse right now, it's now 850. So back then it's almost like $1 million. So look how much it went down.
Wow.
So we're
Wow.
getting
Okay.
there.
Oh, wow. Okay,
Uh-huh.
cool.
And then, so this one here, so those are the three numbers kanina pinakita ko. Now it's like that three graphs. Like you
Yes.
could see all three of them. Sa taas na red is the single detached. Then yung blue is the townhouse and then the condo. So you could see it how it
Mhm.
waves. So that's what's been happening. And then sa taas is really interesting then. Like I said earlier, yung bench price niya, um, 2005, it's really depressing as you can see. Single detached 350. Are you insane? And now
Wow.
it's 1.2. And
Wow.
so it's just showing you like this 5 years ago, 3 years ago, and 12 months, 6 months, 3 months, a month, and current, which is last month lang, yung statistic. And look at how much the went up. Is parang hinahabol niya yung townhouse. At saka yung townhouse
Mhm.
parang hinahabol niya single detached. So
Mhm. Yeah.
it's just an amazing how the market just really went skew for the last couple years because of the pandemic.
Wow.
Wow.
And the last slideshow, I just want to show you that sale here. What I did, I pulled all the location just to give a general idea to everyone. Um, you heard for the last, there's a lot of bidding war out there. So right now, it's starting to slow down. At the same time, it hasn't really like stopped in a way. So I'll give you an example. The first one is the townhouse. It's built in 1987, right? They have it for 2 days on the market and they sold it for 830. So pretty much it just area. This is a really like hot area. So anything that pops in here that it's desirable, people just like take it just like that, right? So it's just gonna show you. And then the other example is here, the Nelson one, the fourth one is on Esquimalt. It's, if you look at it, it's more newer. It's built in 1995 compared to the first one that I showed you, right? And yet they originally listed it for like 800,000, and then they lowered for 750, and it sold for 735, and it
Mhm.
stayed on the market for like 3 days. So as you can see, not all like listings out there is going to be a commodity. So it depends talaga sa
Ah,
location, sa area, and uh, how it is
uh-huh.
in everything overall. Unlike like few months ago, na it doesn't matter kung saan, people just want to get in. Now there's a little bit
Right.
more options.
Yeah.
There's
How,
like the way I see it, there's pockets. There's pockets na you can
yes,
still get it a little bit low, but don't expect that it's everywhere. There are pockets that will still command higher prices, but there are pockets that you may be able to get a deal. Kaya nga it's really important to work with a realtor who knows.
yes. So yeah, so yeah, I just like want to show you that it's the same thing as the condo as well, right? Like for this one here in the Burnside, the condo in here, it stayed in the market for 12 days. They have price, and then it's sold over asking, but it's not that much. Unlike before, it's
No.
like 50,000 or like pretty much like
Mhm.
30% or more, but it's still, like my tawad. We could say tawad.
Yes. Yay.
Yay! Unlike before, like you can't say tawad. You're pretty much like slapping the seller. Like you can't do that.
Exactly. That's
So
awesome.
and then as like the single detached, then I just want to show you like the last and the bottom, right? When I said like desirable, because if you look at the last one on this slideshow, um this listing itself is only 3 bedroom and 4 bath. Although I haven't shown you the pictures, it stayed only 4 days in the market, and guess what? It sold over asking price because people want this type of property. Again, kung ano yung desirable out there, it's gonna be bidding war.
Mhm.
But I seen a lot out there more, and which is really great news because now you could put conditions. Have to be shy about it. Like, oh no, nakakatakot kasi may conditions, di ba? Ngayon, you see almost everything by condition na. Unless, of course, it's
Yay.
condominium.
Yay,
It's like
love
great
that.
news. So that's pretty much it, my slideshow.
Okay, well, thank you so much, Faith. I think Erica and Rachel, like, well, people who are watching right now, I'm not being rude by typing on my phone. I cannot write, as you can see. So, the key takeaways, I put it on my phone. So please understand that. And I have some. I'm sure Erica has and Rachel has some key takeaways. But before we invite our next speaker, we just have a question here from Iman Page. Do you help people in Ontario as well? I don't know, Faith. I don't know if you have license in Ontario. I don't think so, right?
No, unfortunately, I can't because my license is pretty much in BC. And also, there's one thing then it's very important. Just because I'm licensed in BC, I could sell houses all the way to North BC, right? But the thing is, I don't know that
Yes.
market, and it will not gonna do you any. So you need to hire a realtor who is expert in that area.
There you go. Thanks, Faith. And for us as mortgage experts, Erica and Rachel, yes, can definitely help you. Banks here in Canada, we're so fortunate they can lend across Canada, and as mortgage brokers, mortgage strategy managers, we can pretty much assist you. We have clients east to west all day long. So if you are interested in our help, we have the link here for a quick call. Erica and Rachel will be able to assist you on that. Thank you, Faith. Thank you so much. I have some information here. What I'm seeing is very encouraging. There's wonderful opportunities. I call myself an opportunity miner. I just love mining opportunities here and there. I saw a bunch there in your presentation. So thank you, Faith. We will be saying bye for a little bit to Faith here, and we will be inviting our next speaker. But before that, we want to invite you all to our Tagalog First-Time Homebuyer webinar that is happening next week. So meron po tayong webinar, Filipino lang po talaga. We feel that talaga katulad ni Faith, devoted kami to educating more and more Pinoys when it comes to the home buying process. There's a lot of information that very important na matutunan nyo what's happening in the market, what's happening with interest rates, is this a good time to buy, paano kung mag-crash yung market, all of that we will be addressing. So please join us po and we will we'll dig deeper on that information. So thank you, Faith. And let's have the introduction, please, for our next speaker. Querubin is a real estate agent with RE/MAX Crest and has been recognized for her outstanding performance and achievements in the RE/MAX organization. She has been deeply connected with the Filipino community and truly understands the struggles of many of our kababayans. She is passionate about helping them understand the process of buying and selling their home and winning in this market. Her dream is to raise the level of awareness of her clients when it comes to home ownership and show them the value of home equity in building wealth through real estate. Let's welcome Irene Querubin.
Hello, everyone! Ang galing-galing naman!
Na ano ka ba? Na-inspire ka ba sa next speaker intro namin?
Oh, yes. And you know what? I used to work for TV, right? So alam ko na yung production ng TV is really difficult. It's time-consuming and very impressive ang Karista.
Thank you, Irene, for joining us. And you've been working with all our mortgage strategy managers. We want to honor you. Thank you for your patience, your grace, your caring sa mga clients, your unending patience. So maraming salamat.
Oh, thank you, Dan. Of course. Yeah, I love doing it.
Perfect. And then with your passion of educating, of course, you have some information and some data to share what's happening in the market. Marami tayong kliyente here that's just wondering, is it a good time to buy? What's really happening? Because syempre sa news out there, sa social media, there's a lot of chismis. And the chismis is really not based on facts. It's really based on a bunch of opinion and kuro-kuro.
Haka-haka.
So, haka-haka and kuro-kuro. Ayan. So, thank you, Irene, for preparing this presentation for us. So, take it away.
All right. So I'm going to share with you my presentation here. Okay. Can you see it?
We lost it. Start showing. It was showing earlier, but I don't know what happened.
Okay. Let me just do that again. So I'm going to share. Can you see my screen now?
I can see your screen now, so we can play. There you go. Perfect.
Okay,
Yay.
So let me just go back to the first one here. Okay, so tama yung sabi mo, Bernadette, is that it's really important na alam natin kung ano ba yung advice na pakikinggan natin. And yes, we are aware na the market is shifting. And it's really good news for the buyers. So let me start here. It's mas maganda na tingnan natin kung ano yung sinasabi ng numbers. So here's the market update for the Greater Vancouver area for last month, May 2022. So when we say Greater Vancouver, kasama po dyan ang Burnaby, New Westminster, Coquitlam, Port Coquitlam, Port Moody, Pitt Meadows, and Maple Ridge. Okay, so gusto ko po kayong bigyan ng parang bird's eye view. What happened in the real estate market in the Greater Vancouver in May? The total listings was 2,776. Combined na po dito yung detached, townhomes, condos, apartments. Mas mababa po ang number na yan compared last year, kung saan there were 3,058 listings in May 2021.
I don't want to, sorry, Irene, is it possible for you to hit percent and standard, like the percent, that button?
Oh,
and
yeah.
That one, and then standard. Perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that
Yay.
better?
Perfect.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
bigger screen. Thank you.
Right. So total listings 2,776, like I said, mas mababa siya compared
Yeah.
the previous year. When it comes to total sales naman, it's also mas mababa, 1,039 units sold compared to last year na 1,593. However, when we look at the price, it's 18% higher compared to last year. Now, this is in the greater Vancouver area. What about in other markets like Metro Vancouver and Fraser Valley? So, here, if we look at Metro Vancouver's total listing last month, there were 5,854 homes on the market, mas mababang inventory kesa last year, which was 6,741. When it comes to sales, units sold last month was 1,609, mas mababa kesa sa last year, which was 2,251. But then again, just like Greater Vancouver, when it comes to price, it was 12% higher than last year. So Greater Vancouver, we saw that in the previous slide. When we look at the Fraser Valley, Surrey, all the way to Mission, when we look at the total listings, it was 4,896 homes available on the market last month. Medyo mataas ng konti, but not so much versus last year na 4,515. When it comes to total sales naman, this May, it was less than last year, 1,246 versus 2,677. And then again, when it comes to price, mas mataas siya by 17% versus last year. So the trend is pretty much similar in these markets, Metro Vancouver, Greater Vancouver area, Fraser Valley. So what does this mean? Total listings is pababa, ang inventory is pababa, yung total sales is pababa, but the price is still going up. Now, if we look closely, for example, I want to show you itong 13-month market trend in Burnaby, for example. This is one of the more popular locations for our buyers. So when you look at Detached in the last 13 months, what does it look like? Let's understand the lines here. Yung black line po, yan yung price. Yung red line, yan yung inventory number of homes available on the market. And yung blue line, yan po yung number of homes sold month after month. So last May, there were 413 homes available on the market for Detached in Burnaby, only 114 sold. So it's a seller's market, 25% sales ratio. Pero ang price last year was about 1.781. When we look at, for example, in December, pababa yung inventory, only 120 detached homes on the market and 81% 81 units sold. So medyo nagko-close ang gap ng inventory at saka number of homes sold. And if we look at the price, pataas din siya. As we know, yung principle ng supply and demand. Kung konti lang yung supply, mataas yung demand, of course, the price will go up. Now, looking at last month's, medyo tumataas na din yung inventory, which is a good thing for the buyer. So, 267 homes available on the market, 67 homes sold. What that means is medyo nagre-relax yung ating market, just like what we have seen in Victoria. However, hindi din po yan across the board. Like what you said, Bernadette, there are some pocket areas na dito medyo konti ang multiple offers happening. Dito medyo homes are staying on the market longer. So what about the attached homes in Burnaby? Attached includes condos and townhomes, apartments. So last year, there were 813 homes available on the market. 383 units sold. Pagdating ng December of 2021, talagang bagsak din po yung inventory. 305 homes available to buy, 278 sold. And as the months progressed, medyo paunting tumataas yung inventory until as we can see last month, talagang ang laki ng gap ng inventory versus units sold. So that is a good thing for our buyers. What that means is ngayon, mas madami na silang pagpipilian. Hindi na ganun ka-intense yung agawan ng properties on the market and multiple offers. I want to show you in other areas as well na sobrang um, crazy real estate market. For example, in Pitt Meadows. In the last 13 months, as you can see, yung red line po, yun yung inventory. Yung blue line, yun yung units sold on the market month after month. And almost dikit na dikit, if not mas mataas pa yung number of homes sold versus homes available on MLS. So mula May of last year, all the way down to November, December, there were only 4 homes available on the market, but 14 homes sold. Ibig sabihin, um, mas marami pa ngayong, maraming mga homes that were not even listed on MLS that were being sold. Dahil ganun talaga kadami ang buyers na talagang agawan ng properties. And throughout January, Feb, talagang dikit na dikit yung number of inventory versus number of homes sold. Pagdating ng May, medyo tumaas na ang inventory, pababa ang homes being bought. At pag tiningnan natin ang price, last year it was 1.2 million, whereas last May it's now at 1.5. One last location I want to show you is in Surrey kasi ito po ay very popular, especially for our first-time home buyers. It is in the Fraser Valley, but I just thought it would be a good location to note na for detached homes in Surrey, for example, last year there were 885 homes available on the market, 347 sold units. Pagdating ng December, tuloy-tuloy ang pagbaba ng inventory. Ang sale is consistent, and then pagpasok ng January, mas dumadami ang inventory on the market, and that also means na yung buyers mas maraming pagpipilian. Multiple offers is not that crazy. The last slide naman is attached properties in Surrey. So condos, apartments, townhomes. As we can see in December, talagang bagsak pa din yung inventory. Only 248 homes available on the market, but there were 370 homes sold. So pagdating ng May last month, medyo mataas na po yung inventory, pero pababa ang sale. So makikita natin, kaya natin sinasabi na, the market is relaxing, it's shifting. So that is a good thing for our buyers. Ibig niyan sabihin na this time, there is more opportunity for us to negotiate the price, to look for other homes and really compare based on price, based on preference, and all that. So kaya naririnig natin, yes, market is relaxing a little bit. Is it true? Can we expect na talagang bababa ang presyo? It's hard to say. What we can do is just look at the numbers and really observe where it's coming or where it's heading. I'm just going to stop sharing now. So when we say na yes, market is relaxing, in my experience, what I have seen on the field is this. Kung the last few months, yung seller will have about 13 offers received, 26 offers received. Ngayon, meron pa rin mga multiple offers happening, pero it's not that crazy. Siguro 3 offers, 4 offers, ganon. And some properties, like I said, are staying longer. Mas konti na rin yung nakikita nating deadline of offers. Mas marami na ako nakikita ngayon na offers as they come, and that's a great opportunity for our buyers kasi ngayon sellers are not stimulating multiple offer scenarios.
Wow.
Oh, sorry, I can't hear you,
I
Bernadette.
can't hear you, Miss B.
Wow, Irene, what a change in the market.
Right? It's crazy. I remember last year, about end of last year, pagka yung mga clients, okay, let's go to Langley, let's go to Surrey, let's go to Pitt Meadows, Coquitlam. Who would have thought na ganun magiging kabisi ang Port Coquitlam Pit Meadows, including Mission, really? Pero kasi nga, we didn't expect na with COVID, now everybody doesn't have to go to work. Now they can, find a bigger home outside of Vancouver, far from Vancouver, and the prices are much better there, better value. And so everybody went there, and that also drove the prices very, very high. So unexpected.
I know, that's great. And now I notice there's conditions everywhere. No more subject free, right?
Yes, exactly. Definitely, mas marami na ngayong offers with subjects. Whereas before, sometimes our clients would be offering much higher, but because we have conditions, it's always the cash offer that wins. Pero ngayon, pantay na ulit ang labanan.
Oh, that's good to hear, Irene. I think
Yeah, it's really exciting for the buyers too na ngayon, offers as they come. It means na we don't have to wait for Monday or Tuesday or Wednesday and compete with other buyers. Now, pagka-view natin ng Saturday, Sunday, all we need to do is just be quick. If you make your decision, is this what you want? Let's send in our offer. So there is really a higher chance for the buyers to buy a property.
Oh, that's good. Well, have you noticed, have sellers been coming up to you to make an offer too?
I haven't seen sellers coming with. What I've noticed is that sellers are more open to negotiating the price, whereas before, because it's a seller's market, and it still is a seller's market, but now they also are fearing that, they want their property off the market, they want it sold, and they know that, that there are more competition for them, for the sellers. So now they're also willing to negotiate the selling price.
Perfect. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, good. So thank you so much for that, Irene. And I would like to invite back Faith, please. Faith, please join us because I think there you go. Thank you. Yeah, so we learned about that. And then I think we have some questions here, Erika and Rachelle. You saw the questions, right? That we have. And so here, go ahead, Rachelle.
Okay, so Iman Page is asking, what's the minimum credit score to be able to get an approval? Thanks. So ideally, the minimum credit score that you would want to have is anywhere 600 plus. For the best mortgage policies, best rates, anywhere 690 plus would be ideal.
Thank you. Do we have other questions? I can't see it from my side. So, but we do have some questions from before, right, Erika? Do you have the list of questions? Do you want
Yes, I
to?
do. Dear. Okay. So one question would be, what should I look for when touring a home? Miss Irene?
Sure. Yes. So when we are touring a home, I'll focus mainly for attached properties, for example, for our first-time home buyers. When we are touring a home, I would start on the practical side. Of course, when we are considering our budget, we want to be really realistic with our expectations. And also, mas maganda siguro before you even start touring a home, make it clear between you and husband, between you and wife. Okay, what are the features that we want in a home? Is it location? Is it the size? Is it the distance from work, from school, all those things? As long as those features are clear in your mind, then you can really narrow down kung ano yung mga homes that you want to view. When you're in the home, I always check for a few things. For example, are you willing to renovate? So get an maybe a place that needs updating, but you may get a better deal. So look around and see, okay, how much will that cost, and is that feasible for your situation? That's one. Second, for attached properties, I always ask, what is the CRF, contingency reserve fund? That's very important for our homeowners to know, because kung mababa yung contingency reserve fund ng building, it means there is a potential special levy coming up. Another one is, like I mentioned, yung budget. It's nice to have the wish list. I want in-suite laundry. I want 1,000 square feet. I want all these things. But before that, again, let's just be realistic. If we are working with a specific budget, then we have to be aware what kind of property is available in that budget. If we have more options, more selections in our budget, then yes, it's nice to have, we'll work with the things that we like to have in our home. But sometimes there are limitations.
Oh, thank you. I'm having a hard time seeing the questions in the chat box. So if there's any questions, please feel free to read it out, ladies. And marketing, our team there, please flash it because again, I'm running blind here. Sorry. Faith, is there anything you want to add to that question, or we can go to the next one? Oh, Faith apparently is muted.
Okay.
There you go.
So what like I agree with everyone is saying, and what I usually do as well too, if they know their price range as well, I send them listings based on this price range, all of the listings, and they could figure out within that price range, ano yung availability nila. They may have a wish list sa mind nila na I want this in suite, I want a newer kitchen, or I want this and that, right? But yung pre-approval nila is only here, right? So it gives them idea. If I send them listings, I'd be like, you know what? All this listing doesn't have all this checklist. It make them rethink, you know what? This is more important than this one. So for example, mas importante sa kanila yung in-suite laundry. So you know what, Faith? Don't show us anything without in-suite laundry because we realize looking at this 20 listings that you sent, every time there's no in-suite laundry, we can't live without it. And then next thing you know, I'll send them like with in-suite laundry. It may have be like once a week na may listing with that, just example lang. But at least they know that in-suite laundry is gonna be that criteria, and they will think, is that gonna be the location they're willing out? So it just give them more options without really limiting their search criteria.
Okay, perfect. I can see the chat question now. Go ahead. Let's show that question.
All right. So, Erika, another question from Iman are what are the chances of getting approved if you have a history of consumer proposal?
So for consumer proposal, you should have filed that after you have opened a trade for credit grades for 2 years. Dapat nakapag-open ka ng bagong at least 2 credit cards and you have built your credit na. But it depends actually on your particular situation. So for I'm not sure when did you file for your credit consumer proposal, but the best option you can do is give us a quick call because it depends. We can assess your situation based on your credit bureau report when we have pulled that na.
Yeah, because tama po si Erika, the typical rule is 2 plus 2. So you have to have 2 years of good behavior, technically, after your consumer proposal. So two new credit from your consumer proposal for 2 years. So that's why she said it's a good idea to have a quick call with us. We can review it and let you know how much more you have to wait. And Erica, follow-up question is, what if only one credit card? Erica, what do we do when that's the case?
Kailangan po talaga is 2. Yun po yung rule, 2 plus 2. So, you should open one more.
Yes.
And to add to that, I know a lot of people who had consumer proposals, they say they can't get approved. One strategy that I always let my clients know is try to open a prepaid one first. And once you've established good credit and good character with that or with that specific bank, I've noticed that they have granted actual credit cards after the fact. So you have that too that you can reestablish afterwards.
For the sake of people who don't know, what does prepaid credit card mean, Rachelle?
Prepaid is basically they give you if I'm not mistaken, they give you a certain amount that you use, but you already paid for it.
Yeah.
correct.
So basically, you have $1,000 and you give Mr. Bank, here's $1,000. Keep it for safekeeping. In exchange, give me a card with $1,000 limit. So that's what the prepaid means. So you kind of are buying a credit card on your behalf. So that's one strategy. So thank you for bringing that up. So one final question that I want, we're going to skip the second one. I think we want to go to question number, the final question. Erica, would you like to lead number 3, please?
Okay. Paano ko malalaman kung ang isang property ay price fair?
Yeah, a lot of people ask that. Is it a good deal? Faith, you want to start? Is it fair? Is it good? How do I know?
So usually what I normally do, I'll give you we call it CMA, comparison market analysis. So all the properties that sold within that area for the last couple months to let you know what's happening. So like I said earlier, so I think I use an example as a condo. It's gonna be, if it's gonna be a 2 bedroom or 2 bathroom, I'll give you, first of all, I'll give you what sold within that building first, kung ilan na sell in that building. And then I'll go out within like 2 or 3 kilometers around that area to show you what about the comparison of the properties, and then make a decision that, hey, look at this, that's where they find and that's how they feel that this is what they price. So that's how I do it.
Thank you, Faith. Irene, anything to add to that?
Yes, I just want to mention too na kapag when we are comparing prices, for example, when you're looking at a sold property that sold 6 months ago, a year ago, that data does not apply anymore. We want to look as accurate as possible by looking at within the 3 month period, maybe a little bit outside of 3 months kung walang comparables. But normally, you want to look, you want to compare prices within 3 months. Also, so paano ko malalaman kung ang isang property ay priced? What I want to say, especially to our first-time home buyers, sometimes makikita natin yung property, wow, it's priced for 300,000. Oh my God, let's go. I wanna reiterate po na minsan, just because yung seller priced it, listed it for that price, it doesn't mean na that's the price they're willing to sell their property. It's just an invitation. Hey, I have a property. Let's start at this price. Let's see what reaction we get on the market. But hindi katulad ng kung magsha-shop tayo ng car and it says 4,999. If you have that money, it's sold. Sa real estate po, it's a different scenario. You can negotiate, you can up your price, you can, get a bargain. Pero yung listed price po is not a real indication na yun yung value ng property. And in Vancouver, for example, it's a strategy that sellers use kung saan, let's say, ang market value ng townhouse is 700,000, gusto ng seller magkaroon ng multiple offer scenario, instead of listing it for fair market value of 700, they're gonna list it, what, 599. 650,000. So our buyers are like, wow, great deal, but be prepared. Sometimes the price that we see as listed price is not really the price that the seller is willing to sell it for.
Yeah, very, very good point. And that's why it's very important to work with experts who would be able to give you an indication of a fair price. And if you ask us, your mortgage strategy managers here at Karista, hey, Erika, Rachelle, is it a good deal? Our answer is we don't know. Please ask your realtor if it's a good deal or not. So there you go. And another follow-up question for Iman. Thank you so much for your question. Is secured Mastercard good for building credit? Yes, it is. Any type of credit is good. Secured Mastercard, Visa, any of those credit cards, line of credit, car loan, RSP loan, basta any debt. Yung 2+2 is any debt. Okay? Minimum, at least $1,000 na limit for 2 years. So I hope that answers that question, Iman. And now that we are at the end of the show, ito yung favorite part ng a lot of people is the key takeaway portion. Erika, any key takeaway that you learned from Faith and Irene, and then of course Faith and Irene, we will ask you for your last your farewell or your message for our first-time home buyers that are watching right now. But let's start with you, Erika. Key takeaway, please.
Okay, I really appreciate both of your presentations. You've given us so much information. It's so much interesting how the market is gradually shifting now. Meaning, based on what you've said, na there are more options for our buyers to choose from. And based on the data you have provided, I can see from the consumer behavior that people tend to buy properties between November to December. Probably they would want to start a new beginning in their life for the next year to come, and they have this knowledge that the prices will go up by the following year. So during this period between January up to now, people have more options to choose from, just at what have you mentioned. And there's lots of listings that will help them decide what are the features that are aligned on their budgets as well. So thank you so much for your presentation, ladies.
Oh, thank you, Erica. And we have a question here from Ling Chris. Ang question is, paano po ba kung limang magkakaibigan ang bibili ng property as an investment? Paano po ba yan? That's a very good question. Thank you so much. So the first thing is, a lot of banks, ang maximum number of borrowers is just 4. Okay, so when you come to us for a quick call appointment, what's going to be happening is your mortgage strategy manager is going to pick the best 4 out of 5, and then we'll let you know kung sino yon. Now, even before that, though, the most important thing is, the 4 or 5 of you need to be very much aligned. You need to align yourselves as to yung goals ninyo tsaka purpose nyo iisa. And also, it's also very important that you talk to a lawyer, okay? Parang yung ikakasal, kasi para na kayong mga artista na ikakasal, meron kayong prenup, oh, di ba? So it's very important for you to understand kung ano talaga yung expectation ng bawat isa. And lawyers are very good in creating that. Dapat alam nyo yung talagang magkano yung hatian. Alam nyo din sa down payment, sa gastos, and most importantly, ano yung inyong exit strategy. For example, kung yung isa pala, ina-expect niya out na siya in 1 year, yung isa gusto niya 2, yung isa 3, away kayo kung hindi kayo pare-pareho ng exit strategy. So, very important, align kayo sa lahat ng bagay, meron kayong prenup, and then pagdating sa kung ano yung magkano yung ma-approve, please make sure you give us a quick call and then we can tell you kung magkano po ang magiging qualified sa inyo. So thank you for that question. Again, reach out to us if there's anything else. Rachelle, quick takeaway from today.
Okay, so quick takeaway. If we had this conversation, Irene and Faith, 5 months ago, we wouldn't be having this conversation. It was multiple offers, it was subject free, it was 1-day subject removal. And so my biggest takeaway is the shift in the market for both, even though we're still far apart, Faith. I'm loving that we are seeing that, our buyers, especially first-time home buyers, marami na silang mga options at protection sa market. And they also have the ability and flexibility to, maybe get a discounted price or just get it at a fairer market value, I would say. Wala na yung overbidding. So my biggest takeaway with that is, para sa mga first-time home buyers, now is the time to buy. Kasi bakit? On sale na yung real estate. And I love sales. It's my favorite thing. And so I encourage everyone out there, even, those who were beat out of the market last year, those who were discouraged, now is definitely a time to be empowered. You have your experts here, some mortgage, sa real estate, that's going to help you throughout this entire process. So mag-register po kayo for our first-time homebuyer webinar coming up next Friday. So that you guys can learn as well what the process is. And if you have any other questions naman related to mortgage, we're there as well. And then hopefully once na pre-approve na po kayo, whether you're in Victoria or in Vancouver, Fraser Valley, then you'll get to work with this beautiful team of ladies as well.
Yes, so thank you. Yeah, we'll bring up again the link for the first-time homebuyer webinar next week. And again, we're passionate about teaching you what's happening in the market and why it's a good time to buy now. We have this Black Friday phenomenon that's going right now, so we're going to explain more on that on the first-time homebuyer webinar. My key takeaway is, again, yung active listings, ang ligaya ko kasi since 2020, every month, not enough listing, not enough listing, not enough listing. It's just nice to see a different narrative right now. And then your music to my ears that you can add conditions, because I can't tell you how many times we keep hearing about, can we make an offer, no conditions? And both of you, Faith and Irene, you never ask us that. So I honor you both. It's not something na pwede ba please? Bakit yung ibang broker, okay lang na walang condition, bakit hindi mo pwedeng ipagpilitan, Bernadette? So thank you so much for that. Now, the one thing that I also want to stress from today is I love the chart na pinakita mo, Irene, where there, yung ilan yung listing, ilan yung gap between the listing, and yun dun sa Pit Meadows na it's really a weird it's a weird skew of the graph. And why is that important to me? Because a lot of this stresses the importance again with you also, Faith. You know the numbers, you know the graph, you know what it means. You can translate it into layman's terms. Sometimes people just work with somebody na they're just because they saw the name of the realtors as a karatula or something. But with you guys, you know the heart of what's going on. You know you can easily spot a good deal, not a good deal, and most importantly, the fact that you share there's pockets. So it doesn't mean that right now this is the market and always you will get a good deal. No, there are pockets. So you need to be working with someone who knows the pockets of those areas that is possible to still get a good deal. And then some areas now, yeah, well, in this area, no, you kind of have to go above asking. You kind of have to be more competitive and all of that. So I love those pockets. That was my one of my biggest takeaway, because I really thought, just like everybody else, that right now everywhere is prices are down and you can pretty much ask for whatever you want, but it doesn't sound like it. So any last words for our viewers, Faith?
I just want to thank everyone for watching. And I also want to thank you, Bernadette, and your team. And also, Irene, nice meeting you here. Thank you so much for having this. This is really such a pleasure. And what I like to add is that, first of all, it's great that you're talking about the idea of buying your first home, regardless what it is. First step is always talk to your mortgage broker. That's where Bernadette. Call her and she will let you know. And also, never be discouraged. Because there's always places that you don't think, let's say na pre-approved ka na. And then you're like, you know what? I don't want to go to East because I've been there and I don't like it. What I do with my client is I take them to north, south, east, west, everywhere. Because you never know. You might find your home there. So I will never discourage anyone to go where I will always listen to everyone and also in a way give you some idea of, you know, not just because this is what you said, it doesn't mean that I don't listen, but I also tell you, hey, check it out. You never know.
Exactly, because Faith, because you're the expert, there's a lot that they don't know that they don't know that you know. I hope everybody understood what I just said. so, so thank you, Faith, for your unending patience in that arena. Irene.
Yeah, same thing. When you want to start home shopping, just make sure that you're doing it the right way. It's exciting to start looking at homes, but if you're not pre approved, then you don't know your budget. Then how do you know that what the home that you like is something that you can get approved for once you're ready to submit the offer? So it's really very important. Start it the right way, get pre approval, contact your mortgage broker, call Rachel, call Erika. Another thing that I want to talk about is some buyers na sinasabi nila, oh, okay, so it looks like more inventory, bababa ang presyo. There is that speculation. Possibly, yes. However, meron ding sinasabi ang mga economists na by 2023, pataas din ang pataas ang interest rate and ini-expect nila na aabot yun ng 7%. So yes, maybe you can get a better price, but also look at the big picture kasi interest rate also affects your purchasing power.
There you go. Well, thank you everyone for your expertise, your caring, your passion. I appreciate you. I honor you. Thank you, Erika. Thank you, Rachelle. If you have any questions for our realtors here, we've shared their contact information. Please feel free to reach out to them in their specific areas and they will give you all that information. And please follow us on social media. We're always here to inform, to inspire, to guide you when it comes to real estate. So thank you, everyone. Have a great Friday. Have a great weekend. Bye.
Thank you.